Hi guys, welcome back to Cafecito in Christ, where your story has a seat, your past has no power, and the Holy Spirit is always in the room. So I hope you brought your cafecito, and let's get into it. I have two beautiful guests today. Jess.
Hello.
And Soraya.
Hello.
I'm sure you guys are familiar with her. She's been here before. A little bit about Jess. I met her. Where did I meet you? The Bible study? No, at the harvest.
Yeah.
We went to the harvest.
Yeah.
So I joined two Bible study groups, and we had like a group event. Well, not an event, but we
like an outing, yeah.
And I met her there, and now I train with her, so she's also a trainer.
I know.
So hit her up. But I'm excited. She has a very powerful testimony, and if you guys need to pause, to catch your breath or soak it in, feel free to do so. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it.
I'm like, it's crazy how like just that Harvest Crusade brought us together. It's a crazy. God moves fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like he's very intentional.
Yeah.
Like puts the right people in your path, and it's like, you need to work out. And you need to go with Jess.
You need a good trainer.
But you're doing amazing. So proud of you.
Thank you.
Yes. It's crazy because a few months ago, I was recording like my testimony, but like God had in store, I like recorded it, everything. And then when I was going to post it, it was just like me in my car, like talking. And it went completely mute. Like the noise was not there, didn't come out. And I was like, what? So the whole video had no noise. But of course, I thought of it as like at that time when I recorded it, so much has happened since then. I feel like I was trying to record the testimony based off what's happened in my past, but not yet what God has done for me. So God was like, I need to do the things for you to show you like you on the other side before you share this. So I haven't went back to it. So when you asked me, I was like, oh, okay, I want to share it, and maybe like of course on my page one day too, but I thought I was like, God's like, okay, it's time. And I was like, okay.
See?
Yeah, he is intentional with everything.
He's like, there's more. Got more for you.
Yeah, no, it was more of like transforming me, because like I said, everybody has a testimony of where they came from, but like the testimony of what God's done for you, like you making it to the other side, and like you being obedient to God and how he truly transformed you. Because of course God has been with us our whole life and pulled us out of situations, and we didn't even see it at the time, but like how all of this helped me serve God more. And I've never experienced that till like obviously this year. So like he needed me to be able to have that part of the testimony, So I think that's crazy that wow. And I looking back at it, I'm like, you're so funny.
It's divine appointment.
Yeah. But a little backstory is my testimony has everything. I feel like it has demonic, it has partying, raving, abuse, sexual abuse, and depression, anxiety, everything you could think of it in one. So I feel like when I meet a lot of girls, I'm like, I understand how you're feeling, and this isn't the end for you. Like there's more for you. But obviously as a little girl, I experienced a lot of demonic things, like scary, because my grandma's house was very haunted, because I guess someone got killed there. And I'm like, I don't know the whole backstory, but I just know it was not a safe place to be in, like spiritually. And my grandma always loved porcelain dolls, and I'm like, now I'm not even, yeah. Yes, there was a experience that happened with that, but she loved giving all of us porcelain dolls. She had a porcelain doll portrait. Like it was just like all of this, especially being in that house that's like demonic, and then having those things in there. Of course they took possession of it. So now, like, I mean, obviously I've watched the movie Annabelle and everything. It's not like that, but like it's I can understand now how it attaches to things like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand that at the time, but yeah, so she gave me a porcelain doll. And I'm just like this little girl who experienced not like her dad leaving at a young age. I'm like watching, my cousins have the worst dads of all. Like they were abusive, they were molested. Like I didn't watch them physically be molested, but like I just remember seeing how it made them feel. Seeing my family where my aunt was like dating a drug addict and she went to jail, and it was just so much I saw as like a little girl, where God's still slowly revealing those memories to me. But just seeing it, and like I'm just in my own little bubble. I was very quiet, didn't like to talk to anybody. But my mom was a great mom. She was like, I was like her best friend. She literally tried to take me out of schools that weren't in the city that we were in, because the city we were in was Pomona and it was not safe at the time. I know. And so like she did not want me going to those schools. So she would always try to transfer me to like schools out of the city. But still, I was in Pomona at my grandma's house watching all these things happen. And then of course, as like, so my grandma gives me this porcelain doll, and this porcelain doll, I just like did not like it. It was like I loved it because my grandma gave it to me, but it just didn't make me feel right. And I was like, I don't like dolls. And so I was like, so I just remember I would have like a lot of scary dreams. I just felt like one time I was sleeping, I was trying to sleep with the doll, and then it would just wake up at my feet, like sitting up straight, and I'm just like, I didn't understand it at first. I was like, this doll I did not put here. Like, what's going on? This is, I didn't believe in like demonic things.
Yeah.
I'm like thinking, no, this is just movies. This isn't real life. Like, so I'm just like, okay, whatever. So, as we're in my grandma's house, things happen in my grandma's house. My cousin, she one time saw like a half man, half horse outside the window. She screams and she's like, and we're like, what the heck? Like, what are you? Sorry, my language, but she's like, scared out of her mind. And then, I just remember there was a time being in my grandma's house where no one was in the backyard. Like it was like crickets. It was scary to be back there. No one wanted to go back there. It was only the dogs that were ever back there, and then they would just come to the front. We were just all talking, and out of nowhere, we hear like a big bang on like the window of the room, and I'm just like thinking someone's messing with me. Like there's just no like, this isn't real. This stuff isn't real. And my great grandma passed away. We would hear like her spirit still at the house, and now thinking about that, I'm like, maybe her spirit didn't make it to heaven, because, if they did make it to heaven, they're not going to see us down here. There's no pain or suffering up there. So I don't believe in like, oh, I saw my dad, or oh, I saw this. I'm like, that's not a real spirit. So I don't know if it was another spirit, but they would say, oh, it's your great grandma. She's just still here. And I'm like, okay. Like just when the noises that we would hear at night. But yeah, and then all the abuse and stuff that we're growing up in, like, me and my cousins did things with each other that I couldn't make sense of at the time, but like it's because they had that done to them, so then they would do it to me, and like I didn't understand. I was just kind of like, I kind of as a little girl enjoyed it because I was like, what is this? Like I feel like an adult. And so eventually, somehow, some way, like my mom was like feeling uneasy with us being there, so we ended up moving to my cousin's house. So as a young girl too, I'm like, me and my mom never had an actual home. We were always with the family, staying in a room with the family. Never had our own place. So I grew up not getting the things that I like wanted, but my mom still has so much love, where when she could get me something, it was so valuable to me. But I still carried this porcelain doll with me as we traveled off. And I just felt like I was getting more scared, because I started doing things in elementary school where I was like, Candyman, Candyman, in front of the mirror. Or there was another thing where we said in front of the mirror, but I literally I screamed because I saw something, and I was like, I felt like I started inviting that stuff in. And there's like a point to all this, because it carried on with me as I did drugs in high school. So like I just felt like I was like playing around with that stuff. Like I was just inviting those spirits in, and I would be so scared. I was just always so scared, so uneasy. Eventually, the porcelain doll was like, I can't have this doll anymore. I gave it to my cousin because I didn't like her at the time. So I was like, I'm gonna scare her, and she didn't like it either. She threw that doll away, I think. So like that doll, but still, they say you can throw the thing away, but it won't leave.
Yeah, it'll attach to something else.
Yeah. So I don't feel like it truly left me, like not that I was possessed or anything, but like I just felt like darkness over me always. And so like as I got into high school, I got into drugs at a really young age. I was doing ecstasy, dust off, Xanax, Vicodin, and I would do it almost nearly every day. And I was killing my brain cells. And again, through this whole years of growing up, like I just feel like this like little just spirit just following me everywhere. They say angels watch you from the time that you grow up, but so do demons. They're watching your whole life as well, because they don't want you to go with God. And so I remember just being in high school, and like as I got into the drugs, I started being like demonic. Like it was things that I couldn't really remember at the time, but now like God has revealed 2 moments of when I was like that. And one of the moments was I had like still statues of angels. I loved like statue stuff, which is weird. I don't know why I would like that at the time, but I had statues of that. I had crystals. I had that stuff. So I remember being in the room with my best friend at the time doing drugs, and we were doing a lot, and I like lined them up in a line, and she told me that I just like started speaking like maybe tongues or a different language, but for sure I know demons know tongues too. So I don't know what I was speaking, but I was just speaking in not my voice, and different voices and different languages. And of course she was scared, and she's like calling my name, and I'm just like with my head down looking at the statues, and she's freaked out. And then all I remember is that I like snapped. I remember the moment I snapped out of it, because I just remember hearing her like get out of the room, and she's like, I want to go home. And I was like, what's wrong? Like that's all I remember like at the time. Now, and God has revealed it to me, but at the time I didn't remember. Only remember snapping out of that moment. And I was like, why are you like, what's wrong? Like, why are you freaking out? Like, it's fine. And then she's like, no, I don't want to be near you. Like, you literally scared me. You were speaking a language I did not know. That was not your voice. That was not you. And I was like, just relax, and it's okay. Like, she ends up waking my mom. She sleeps in the living room, and she doesn't want to tell my mom, because obviously she knew my mom was scary. So she's like, no, I'm good. So she sleeps in the living room. I sleep in the room. Then there ends up being another moment where she becomes like possessed. I don't know. And Soraya was actually there, and we're just like saying weird things like get out of here, we don't want you here, or like being scary, like where she was literally crawling on the floor being scary and demonic. Theater. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that one. Yes. What happened at the theater?
I think you guys were on ecstasy at the movie theater, and you guys were crawling on the floor in the movie theater.
Oh my gosh. No, I've seen now people get like possessed at theaters, like from watching scary movies. I don't know if you ever seen that.
I mean, I just saw a video on TikTok about that with The Conjuring.
Yeah. I believe that could happen.
That somebody was,
yeah,
like at the where they were sitting down. I'm like, wow.
So I just had like a lot of darkness on me, and I was having like sex at a young age. I was just doing the wrong things, being in the wrong crowd. And eventually in high school, she was hanging out with the wrong crowd. I started hanging out with the wrong crowd. She started cutting herself, and I started hanging out with these people where I was at one point I was like holding their drugs for them. And I remember the dogs came that day, because at the time I went to Don Lugo, which was the ghetto school of Chino. But like I got sent to the principal's office, and I was going to get expelled. And because I had never gone in trouble actually with the school, like they didn't know the things that I did. But I had a really good school record. I was still doing my homework. I was still showing up to classes. I wouldn't ditch. So I looked like an innocent kid. So like luckily my mom worked something out where I was able to just transfer schools, and I ended up transferring schools. And it's crazy to think that like years later, the person's drugs that I was holding, he passed away. And he ended up ODing. So I just think like, and then my best friend at the time, she ended up ODing too from drugs. So from that day on, I never really saw her again. I saw her one time and it was weird, but like we're like Instagram friends, so we're like cool. I don't hate her. I think like I see she's thriving in life, but just so crazy to look back at that life where like that was a moment where God separated me because I was literally on my way to being dead probably. And so going to a new high school, I'm this new kid making new friends. I'm trying to fit in. I wasn't doing as much drugs as I was because like the kids were more caring about like drinking and partying, but my mom was grounded me for like 2 years. I had to do things behind her back, like sneak out, go to parties, and like
We snuck out to go hang out with my mom one night.
oh my gosh, yeah, like it was so bad. Like my mom was literally, bless my mom, she's had a rough like childhood too, so she just didn't want me to kill myself. She was holding me so close to the point where it made me rebellious, where I was just doing things, and I hated her. I would tell her I wish I could move with my dad, even though my dad left us. Like, and during this time, my dad would pop in like every 5-6 years, and so I'm like in high school at this point. I don't see him anymore. At the last time I had seen him, I think I was like 12, and I'm like 16, and I'm just like, I hate you. I wish I could live with my dad. And I just remember being in a room, and I have old journals that like I actually look back at where I was just saying, I wish I could just die. I don't want to be alive. I considered killing myself. Like, I just didn't want to do it. And I actually left an important part out. So during this whole time, as I'm in high school and elementary up to high school, I was pulling my hair out to the point where I got like bald spots. I was made fun of for having no hair. People thought I had cancer. It got really bad to the point where like I was just like, man, I don't feel beautiful. I have no hair. And I would just go crazy to the point in my room where I would just pull my hair, but I would pull one at a time. I didn't pull chunks. But at the end of the day, I would have a ball of hair. And so you can only imagine how much hair you're pulling every day for years. My head was like bald. I literally had to like hide the bottom of my hair to hide the bald spots. So I was just dealing with that, dealing with anxiety, dealing with depression, and just like remembering I hate this feeling. And I would just drink or smoke just to like forget about it. I would find love in the wrong places by just sleeping with somebody and thinking that they're gonna love me if I just did that. And as I got out of high school, I started to have a boyfriend, and that boyfriend was not horrible, but he was a player. So that, in that sense, he was horrible. Like, but at least he didn't abuse me or nothing like that until I got to the second one. That one emotionally abused me. And I just remember still into drugs, and I slowly got into raving, and then that's when it took a whole spiral. And mind you, since I was little, I had this little demon attached to me, like just in my ear telling me, yes, go do that, go do that, go do that, or yes, hurt yourself, or yes, pull your hair out, yes, do this. Like, I just kept hearing so much like voices in my head where I think of like Judas when he's going crazy, like hearing voices in his head, and that's how I felt. And I just felt so uneasy. I remember my mom trying to take me to church. I did my first communion, I did Catholic, like all that stuff. And as I got older, I didn't want to go to church. I was like, oh, I hate church, like just hate it. And I was like, I don't believe in this. I don't want to do this. I just want to live life my own way. And she would always get mad. She's like, you need to go to freaking church. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. Like, I would only go on Easter or Mother's Day. It was the only time you'd find me at church. And so as I'm in my second relationship, we were on and off for like 6 years, but he had his own issues too, so I was not treating him very good. They say and it's true, the way you treat someone is a reflection of how you felt inside. So you can only imagine how I treated him because of how I felt inside. So I did not treat him good. I it was just like I didn't want to let him go because he was the only man in my life that I ever received like love, but not healthy love, if that makes sense, because he wasn't happy with himself either. So finally we break up and I start dating this guy at my gym, and lived out my 20s with him, and I just remember feeling like still not happy, still sad. Like when we would end things or break up, I was just devastated to the point where I was like, I don't want to live. Like it's so bad. Like looking back, how much I like loved him, but like it was just I was just seeking like love,
Yeah.
like because I
You're
didn't
trying
really
to fill a void.
yeah, because like my mom, like I said, she was a great mom, but because of the way she grew up, it's I didn't really hear "I love you" often as I got older. So it was almost like I was like her precious little gem as like a little girl. We were best friends, but then she gets in another relationship with the wrong man who is my sister's dad, and it just made her bitter, angry, prideful. So again, the reflection of how she felt inside started to reveal out. Even though I'm sure she didn't mean it, it was just coming out. So I'm growing up with like watching my sister and seeing my mom and stepdad together and having to hang out with my stepdad's mistress. It was a lot. I feel like I was like going through that. I was just like, man, there really is no good guys out there. There's no good dads out there. There's no good. I don't care about men anymore. Like I just don't care. I don't love them. I'm going to use them. I'm going to use them for their money. I'm going to use them for sex, and I don't care. And that's when I slowly started getting into like escorting, where I got invited to, or I got asked to come to do, they called it atmosphere modeling. And it was like an underground business. And so I'm like coming out of this situationship, I guess you could call it, and I start like I'm just broken at this point, and I go to the underground service, and I just remember we had to go through the back door, not the front, and it's like a curtain, and I just see a white van, and I was like, man, I'm getting kidnapped. Like I was so scared, but I just was like, I didn't even run. Something about me just didn't run. I just kept going forward because I was like, there's just no way. So we make it inside, and they're like, so 7 of you out of like 20 didn't run. But don't be scared, guys. You guys are more than welcome to leave. But like I'm gonna explain to you guys what this business is. We're not here to hurt you, and like just making us feel like welcomed, and like they were nice and gave us like drinks and food. And I was like, oh, they're so nice and cool. This is cool, in my head. And they're like, okay, so this is how it works. So we have different venues, different rooms. We're gonna have a driver drive you around to each venue, and you just go in the room. Whatever guy wants to party with you, they have to pay you $100 an hour, and you just party with them. So you're just an atmosphere model, and you just get paid for it. And I was like, wow, that sounds so fun. I like to party, I like to get money, and I like to do drugs, I like to drink. I'm like, yeah, I'm at the right spot. So I'm here, and I go into I get my first booking with this guy. He was chill, just wanted to sing karaoke. Of course, he was like kissing me. We did cocaine, we did drugs, we were like drinking, and I was like, man, this is fun. Like, and I got paid for it, so every single time, every weekend, I wanted to go. I wanted to keep going back for more. And there would be like 15 girls in a van, and I'm thinking this is normal. Like, I'm fine, I'm chill. We're wearing little prostitute dresses, and we're like literally getting dropped off at each venue. But as the more I went, the worse it got, where it was like I started to see stuff that I was like girls sleeping with the guys, and girls getting cocaine sniffed off their butt. Like it was just very vivid things that I was like seeing, and then the guys are just being super like touchy, were like groping me, or like sucking on my boobs. It's just things that like I felt very uncomfortable with, but I was like, no, I have to do this because they're paying me, but luckily I like never slept with any of them, so like I got very lucky with that. But still, it was not a safe place to be at. There was days that I drove home and I was drunk, I was coming off drugs. I don't even know how I drove or why I drove. Never got a DUI. Never got in a car accident. There's times I had to pull over to the side of the road just so I could sleep because I could feel myself falling asleep on the road. But at this point, I'm just like spiraling, and I'm living with a roommate at this point. So I don't have my mom around. I don't have family. I'm working so much, and I'm working this job at night, and I'm just heartbroken from this guy, and I'm just like hating life. And I remember she started getting into God, and she's like, you should just come to church with me. And I was like, you're so broken at a point where you're like, fine, I'll go, So I go, and I'm just so uncomfortable. It's like the first Christian church I go to, and everybody has their eyes closed, they're singing, and I'm just like, this is so weird. Like, I don't want to be here. And I just kept trying to go with her when I could, but most of the times I was hungover, I was not feeling good, but she would always pray for me. She'd always be like, God's gonna like save me one day. And I was like, I don't care, I'm just trying to make my money. Or she would tell me, please don't go. And I'm like, I need to make money, like I have to pay for the rent for us, like I'm losing clients, like I need to go. And she's like, please be safe. And like, so I would just go. And then I remember my last night there was when I was at this venue, and I just wasn't getting booked. And then at the end, like we're at this back room, and there's nobody in the rooms. It's dark. There's no security, nothing. There's no security at these places. And he's like, hey, you want to go in this room and we could talk? First instinct in my mind was not, oh, I'm going into a dark room with this man that I don't know. I was like, ooh, I'm going to get paid. That was literally what was going through my brain. So I was like, yeah, let's go. And go in the room. I could have gone raped in that room. Like, literally, all the scenarios I think that could have happened. But so luckily, he did not. He just was talking to me about his daughter, which is sad. You're at this place where you have a daughter. And I'm like, oh, my gosh. But I'm like, oh, she's so cute. Like, just like, dumb, But I just remember leaving there feeling so insecure because I didn't get booked. And I was like, man, I'm so ugly, like I'm not beautiful, and still not even in my head thinking like, oh, like I almost got raped, like nothing like that, because he was groping my leg though. But like I said, it could have been so much worse. And then I got COVID, and I like literally, that was the worst COVID I've ever had, where I couldn't move. I literally was like dying, it felt like, in my bed. And I had to call my mom. I was like, I literally feel like I can't breathe, like. And then I just found out that the guy that I was in a situationship had just went on a trip with this girl that he told me not to worry about. So here I am stuck at home. And that was my first cry out to God. And I was like, why are you doing this to me? If you're real, God, like, why would you put me through this? Like, just on my knees, like just crying, like hysterically crying, hating my life. I just wanted to just die, but I couldn't do it. Like, I couldn't actually kill myself, But I was like, man, I just want COVID just to kill me. Like, I want this to be over. And I remember my mom comes. That was the moment where I felt like love again, but for my mom, because she like watched over me, and she was like taking me to the hospital. And that's where I say my mom was a great mom, because she'll literally she stayed with me all day. I remember when I injured myself, like I had my knee surgery, she literally like would take her lunch, a long lunch, just to take me to school, push me on the wheelchair to class, go back to work, then drive back to come pick me up again to take me from class, because I was in a wheelchair. So like my mom was a great mom, but at this time I'm not seeing it that way. But then the space away, like moving on my own, I was like, I miss my mom. I was like, I don't want to do this life anymore. And I'm like, we're reaching the end of our lease, and I'm like, I can't afford this anymore. Like, I'm literally making no money. I didn't go to the escorting thing, obviously, because I had COVID for like 2 weeks. And in those 2 weeks, like, it was my isolation period for God to like reach me. So I was watching sermons at home. I was just watching anything to like bring me happiness. I was watching rom-coms and like just happy movies, or like sermons. And like, I slowly started to get better, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to go back to the gym and just like work out and do my thing and get back to work. Like, I was just like ready, because I would have been home for 2 weeks. And when I go back out, I'm like, okay, I don't think I should do I continued to go to church with my friend. And I just remember I was like, I'm going to go by myself. Like, I was barely coming out of COVID. I was like, I'm going to go by myself to church. Like, just go by myself. I go by myself and I'm like crying because I know the Holy Spirit touched me. And I'm just like, I don't want to be crying in front of these people I don't know. So I'm just like this, like trying to hide myself. And I had to go to the bathroom because I couldn't stop crying. And I was like, I just felt like everything the message was saying just was like hitting me. And I was like, of course, here, broken. And then, so since that day, I kept going to church. I was like, you know what? I need to keep coming. Something told me I need to keep coming. But as I was going, obviously, I was not in community. I was just like going by myself. Like, it was like my little thing to myself, my little solo date. Started to find a little love for myself because obviously I'm going to church. I'm like working out again. I'm not doing the escorting servicing. I'm trying to like just get back in my groove. And then I meet this guy and I'm like, yay, life is going to be better. And this guy is like an influencer and he's showing me a whole other world I never seen before. And I was like, I want to be like an influencer. I was like, that means he didn't like that I was doing cocaine. So I did, little to find out later, he was doing it behind my back. But he didn't like that I was doing it. So I gave up cocaine, but I would still do like Molly behind his back when I would go to events or go to clubs. So I was still doing drugs a little bit, like but I would do it like kind of behind his back and he would do it behind my back. But he ended up being like the worst man of life that I've ever been with. And I don't mean to like say this to bash on him. I actually forgiven him. I prayed for him. But this relationship is truly the turning point where I fully feel like I finally surrendered to God. And because what he did to me just completely wrecked me. I felt like I was back at like square one where I was in my room crying to God. And I'm like, dude, like I change. I'm being a better person. Like, why would you like give me this relationship? Like, I thought I deserve love. I thought you tell me at church I deserve love and I deserve this, but like I didn't get that from this guy. And he was very abusive, like yelling, and at the end he like pushed me and like just to the point where I was just like, man, this is like very scary, manipulative. But thank God he was like truly, thank God he was cheating on me because he started to like, because I wouldn't give him another chance so easily. He decided to be with that girl who was also an influencer, and they're both a reflection of each other. So I feel bad now looking back at this. Like, I truly do pray for them because like the things that they did to me, like any person would have put revengeance on them, but something just kept telling me like, no, don't, just let go, let God. So he ends up being in a relationship with her. Like, we break up and an hour later I see he's with her. Relationship is out there a week later. So I felt like I was like Selena Gomez watching like Hailey Bieber, Justin Bieber. I was like, man, to watch like your ex with this other girl, to treat her the way you always wanted to be treated, and it's all out on social media and it's getting like hundreds and thousands of views, millions of views sometimes. Like, I was like, no one knew about me. So I just felt like he had posted me one time and I met his family, I met his close friends, but I'm talking about the world. Like, the world didn't really know about me. And we even went to Europe together, everything. But I just remember being like, God, why? Why would you do this to me? Like, I was mad at God at this point. I was like, everything that I've been through and all this, I changed. But mind you, I'm still doing drugs and I'm still like partying. And I'm just mad at him. And I'm like, I just don't even want to go back to church. Because with that guy, I was still going to church. And you could feel the fruit when you go. But again, when you're not in community and you don't have someone like putting you accountable, or you're not being open. I was like,
It's hard.
Yeah, I was not fully surrendered. I was lukewarm. That's what they call it. I was not wanting to give God all of my problems, only some of them. And I wouldn't pray. I didn't have a prayer life. I wasn't in my word. I was just showing up to Sundays and doing my life as is, thinking that that was good enough. And so I think God knew that I had like a feeling for him and like a want for him, that this relationship, he knew this relationship wasn't good for me from the start. But he was like, I'm gonna use this relationship to, I'm not doing it to hurt her, but I wanted to like get her closer to me. And I just remember like feeling like that breakup just distraughted me. Like I was like, man, maybe I should go back to therapy, because it had been a while since I had been to therapy. The last time I had went to therapy since this time was when I got in trouble for holding the drugs. I had to do like, it felt like AA meetings, and I lied my way out of that. I was like, he made me fill out a whole booklet of like, and I lied saying like I learned my lesson, and like he's like, okay, because most of the time he was talking about his dead wife, and I'm like a little kid, like I don't care, and like still like
You're his therapist.
yeah, and I was like, I just want to get out of this room, but I had to do my hours, I had to do it, so like I filled out the book, I lied on the book, and he was like, you have improved so much, you're free to go, and I was like, thank you so much, like just lying, so I hadn't gone to therapy since that time. And so I was like, man, maybe I should go to therapy, but this time let me be honest. So I was like, I don't know what else to do. Like, I can't live life like this. Life just feels so like I don't want to live anymore. Like, I don't like this feeling. I just felt like I'm meant for so much more, but I just can't move. I can't like get myself to get up. I can't get myself to eat. I can't have that energy for my clients. And I just was just crying. I think even like sometimes I would cry in the middle of our sessions. I'm like, I gotta step outside. Like,
It's so crazy though too, because you going through all that and still being the trainer, all this hurt that you were going through
Yeah.
is what saved me in the long run too.
Aww.
So it's crazy to hear like
You're
from
hearing,
your
like, the
side,
details.
yeah, because I knew, but like it's different.
It was hard, but I remember Isabel, who's the girl that we lead the Bible study with. Me and her never spoke at the gym. Like, we would just say hi. We're like, she was like intimidated by me. She said she thought I was mean. And I was like, I thought you were mean. And so one day we're on the Stairmaster, and then she's just like, pops the conversation, and we just start talking. And she's like, you should come to this Bible study. And I was like, I'll think about it. And during this time, I actually met another guy. Here comes another guy. But I was like, this guy was not a bad guy compared to the guys that I've dated before. But he was truly one. I think God put him in my life to show me that I can be treated like a princess and a queen, because he did anything and everything for me. The only thing I would say is like, I feel like he idolized me above God. Like, he was putting me before everything. Like, and I was like, no, your kids should be first, God should be first. I just felt like, I felt bad, like he was prioritizing me over everything. But again, I was like, I love the love that I'm getting. Like, I was growing to love him, so I was like, is this what real love feels like? And in my head I was like, and he brought me to I went to my first Bible study with him first before going with Isabel, because I just felt more comfortable with him. And so he bought me my first Bible. I would go to church, and I just remember like being at church, like I wanted to cry, but I was like, no, don't cry. So I would hold it in. He would want to pray, and I'd be like, no, I'm not ready to pray. Like, just like weird at first. And then he started hearing a little bit of my testimony, not all of it, but some of it. And he was just very like intrigued with like trying to help me. But I knew like, you can't help me. God's gotta help me. And I remember reaching a point where like, I was like, during this time still partying, I got into bottle service. And then here I am, instead of idolizing men, I started idolizing money. So then I got into the season of like, money again was my idol. And I would do any job, any event. And I wasn't doing escorting, but I was doing bottle service and like working like DJ events or club events. And I was like, I would always say, no, I don't want to go. I need to go to this place because I need to work, or I need to be on the the owner's like top list. Like, I need to go to wherever he has. I need to go. And of course, it ruined like a little bit what we had. So he's trying to get closer to God, and I'm over here like worldly, like, no, I need to go to this. I need to make money. I care about bottle service. I care about this. It's like, how long are you gonna do bottle service for? And I'm like, oh, how could you ask me that? I'm gonna do that for 2 years. Like I'm gonna do it for a while. I still look good. I make good money. Like, I was so mean. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I just remember, again, still feeling hurt from the past relationship. It would come up in certain situations that we faced, and I was like, dude, I feel like I need to heal before I'm with any man, because like each thing just keeps lingering on to the next, and I just was like, but man, what if this is a right person, wrong time? Like, this sucks. I don't know how to let this go. And at this time, I started feeling like conviction for what I was doing. Like, bottle service started becoming uncomfortable, because at this time I started going to his Bible study and the study with Isabel. But the one with Isabel, I was being like convicted. They were praying over me. I was being delivered. I was just crying. I was just broken, but being healed at the same time, and starting to learn a whole other side of Jesus and God that I never even knew about. And she was just always there holding me accountable, like, come to church. And I'm like, okay, like feeling like I needed to be there, but it was good because look where it got me now. So I'm at the end of, this is last year, at the end of summer, and this is how I tell you God moves so fast in your life. But I just remembering, like, I still don't feel healed. I still feel sad. I still feel depressed. And I'm like, but I literally have my job's getting better. I have my family. Like, why can't I be grateful? Like, why what do you need me to do, God? I just remember talking to him, and I was like, I'm just mad at you, God, because still, like, my ex is over here being more successful and they look so happy. And I remember reading a passage in the Bible that a girl her name's Brianna, she told me to read it. And it's like, it was talking about how just let go, let God, whatever is done in the dark will be revealed in the light. And I was like, he literally showed up to my bottle service job. They had a sign that said, they requested a sign to say, F my ex, she's a hoe. And she asked the bottle service girl for me to hold it, and they were going to take a video. And I was like, but again, God showed up in that moment, because we never forget signs, and that sign didn't go out. And like, I had to bring a bottle, not knowing I was going to his table, and I'm like this close to his face, couldn't even look me in the eye. They started a whole scene, and so I'm just mad at him. Like, did you not just see what he did, God? Like, you're still not gonna punish him? Like, why aren't you gonna punish him? Why is he gonna get his karma? I don't even believe in karma anymore, because he looks like he's thriving, happy. They're going on trips, and I'm over here broken, suffering, and I have a great man in front of me, but I'm still like a piece of crap. Like, I'm just talking so bad of myself. And I was like, I just don't get it. Like, I'm fed up with you, God. I literally try, and here I am mad again. And I'm telling Brianna, I'm like, I don't even know what to say to him anymore, because I feel like when you pray, you're not supposed to be angry. And she's like, no, tell God you're angry. Give it all to him. And I was like, what does that even mean? And so I was just literally like, okay, I don't know how to let go of this relationship. If you truly need me to be alone, then I need you to like make him let go of me, because I can't do it. Like I'm ready, God. I'm ready to give you my all. Like, I need you. Like, I need you. Please, I'm just ready. And then the next day texted me, we need to talk. And I'm like, I didn't think he was ever going to break up with me. And so when he did that, I was like, thank God I didn't say yeah. I just like, I was like, take it back. Because I was knowing what was to come. We were going to end. And sure enough, we talk. We ended up breaking things off that day. And he still would try to like call me. But I was telling him, like, I just like, you got to leave me alone. Like, something's telling me like, I have to be alone. Like, in order, like, I can't make you happy if I'm not happy, and I'm not happy. I was like, and it's not, I know that I hate when people say this, it's not you, it's me. But truly, it's me. Like, I'm just in a place in life where I'm just broken, sad. Like, I don't know what God has for us in the future, but like, I need to be alone and I just need to figure things out with Him and grow my relationship with Him. But like, I thank you for everything you've done for me, for bringing me back to God. Like, truly, you've done so much. Like I'm gonna remember forever. But He did leave me alone. So I'm over here like, freedom, woo, I'm gonna go by myself, and like, but still tucking in what I felt. I was heartbroken about a relationship, but I was like, no, I'm not sad, I'm good, and just still continuing a little bit, like still to party, still doing drugs, and finishing the last of my bottle service. And I got into bartending, and it was bartending for a bikini bar, but we were wearing like regular shirts and sports bras. And at the end of the year, I just remember feeling like, I don't belong here. Like, I feel so weird. And like, I just felt like I started knowing more of God because I was starting to read the Bible more. I was starting to go to church more. And I was just so invested and on fire for God. And I was like, I went to this prayer, like, event thing, and it changed me forever. Like, I just felt touched by the Holy Spirit. I just, like, in that moment, I didn't crave drugs anymore. I was prayed over. Like, it was like He broke that off. Like, I thought I would never give up Molly. I thought I would never give up drinking. And mind you, you say you'll never give up, but it's okay if you go back to it. It's such a challenge. Like, you can't just switch in a 180. He prunes you little by little. So like, I just remember not like, I didn't have the desire to do drugs, but it was because I separated from that group. It was like, I went to this thing called Splash House, did so much drugs in that moment, and I just remember like, I was like, man, I don't want, God take me. This is where I broke up. Me and that guy broke up. Those friends I stopped hanging out with because I told God to just take it all away, whatever He needed to do so that He could transform me. I stopped getting invited to places. I started being more isolated. But in that time, even though I was sad that I wasn't being invited anymore and I wasn't going out with them anymore, I still felt like peaceful in a way because I was truly like getting more clean and not drinking as much and really focused on fitness, really focusing more on God, started being consistent with church. And the end of the year, those group of friends invited me again, and I was like, I think I'm ready to go to the world and not do drugs, not drink. I'm good. Like, I have God now. So it's like, go. I did drugs again. Like, it was like I fell again, and then I felt ashamed. And then when that moment happened, I remember reading in the passage about Mary. I can never say her last name.
Magdalene?
Yes, where she like messed up again too, and she felt so shameful to come back to Jesus. But He's like, did you really think you were never gonna sin again? Like, you are, but like, I just want your heart. And He just, in that moment, I was like, He forgives me. And then I had realized I never asked God for forgiveness yet. I never repented. So yes, I was being transformed, but I never truly asked and repented. So I remember I went to church and I went up to be prayed for, and I was like, I just realized I've never asked to be forgiven. I went back and I did drugs again. And I was like, I just want God to forgive me and I want to try again. And she just like held my hand, and instantly she started crying. And then I started crying, and she's like, whatever you were feeling, I felt it. She's like, but God says you're forgiven. And I was like, like just crying. And then this old lady comes by me, didn't even hear what we were talking about. And she's like, something tells me to just tell you, you are forgiven. And I'm like, okay, that was like double confirmation, God saying, I forgive you. And I was like, okay. So I'm like, at this point, it's my birthday, and this is this year, my birthday this year. I was like, every year I would spend it at a club, bottle service, drinking. And so here I go again, trying to spend my birthday the same way. But I already felt uneasy about it, like conviction in my spirit. And mind you, me and Soraya, we went out for Christmas. My car got towed. Like, things were happening, whereas like God was like, Jessica, like literally like, well, yeah, when are you going to listen? So every time those things would happen, I was like, man, I don't think I can be here anymore. Like, I think this is gonna be my last time at a club. Like, I just could feel it. Like, this was the goodbye to that. And But I did drink a lot on my birthday, but that was the last time I had ever drank a bottle like of tequila. I have not drinking to get drunk, because mind you, now I'm sober, but at the time, like, I was like, it was still like, he changes you little by little. And that's why I say to people, like, new girls that come, like, they think like, oh, I have to give all this up, I have to change. Like, no, God will just change you along the way when you just, yeah, yeah. And it came in different parts of my life. So I had stopped doing drugs, I had stopped drinking like that. So, like, finally I was like, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I need to, like, I just repented. I need to repent again, and I need to just surrender to God. Because I told them, somebody, like, my life still feels like it's just not like like fruitful. Like, I don't feel like I'm still happy. I still feel kind of like sad, depressed. It comes back. It's like in waves. And they were like, why don't you just give Jesus 3 months of your life, and your misery is refundable? And I was like, okay, let me try to give him 3 months of my life. So I did, and I completely, like, gave God my all. I was doing something nearly almost every day for, like, God, and I was getting in my word. I was actually, like, praying to him. I would repent every day. I just felt myself being, like, my mind was being renewed. I was truly being reborn into a new person. And I was reading about that. I was, like, reading, and then I started to get to know about Jesus, and, like, how he was beaten. I didn't know all of that stuff. In church, I see him hanging, and I'm, like, wondering, okay, yeah, he got hanged by the story, but I didn't know all the story behind it till I read Acts and Luke, and I, like, just remember being so sad, and I was like, man, he did this all for me, and I was over here doing all this stuff, like, oh my gosh, like, I love you, Jesus. Like, I just remember feeling that feeling. And something in my mind was like, Thursdays was the only days that I wasn't doing anything for, like Bible study or anything. And I just remember one day, like, I just had a dream that, like, it was such a weird random dream that, like, a girl was just like, hey, let's do a Bible study together. And I was like, okay. We're just, like, studying the word. That was it. And I just woke up like, what? Okay. So then something was telling me, like, just get a girls to do a diva with, because I started getting more knowledgeable with the Bible, because obviously I'm reading it so much. I would spend, like, 2 hours, like, morning and night, like, reading it, because I was so fascinated with what I was reading. And I was like, so girls would ask, I just started randomly, like, people at the gym just asking me questions, and I'm like, man, should we just do a Devo? Like, you guys are all asking the same question. And I'm like, okay, I'll just do a Devo. And I'm like, so I get all of us to get together at Panera, and it's like 6 of us. And I just started talking about God. And I just remember, like, I used to struggle speaking in front of, like, groups. I would stutter. My thoughts go everywhere. Like, so I know, like, when you talk to me on the normal, or when you talk to me on the normal, my thoughts can be like, I'll say one thing and I'm like, girls, that's why I'm so good at group training. Because I'm like, come on, let's do this. I can multitask at its finest when it comes to that. And so I was like, okay. But when I was speaking the word, it was just flowing out, like, good. Like, it was like, that was not me. That was literally the Holy Spirit. And I was like, okay, so we're gonna be meeting every Thursdays. And I'm like, so here we are, we're still meeting every Thursdays. And I remember telling Isabel, like, at this point, like, I'm fully surrendered, right? I'm not, like, I actually got in contact with the ex that brought me to the Bible study, and I was telling him, like, so crazy, but I started a Bible study, and I was like, just wanted to say thank you, like, something had told me to just say thank you to him. And I was like, because if it wasn't for you, like, I don't know where I would have been. And he calls me, we end up meeting up, and, like, he's just like, I'm like on fire for God at this point. Like, the whole time we're at dinner talking about God, because I was just so, like, Jesus did this, like, happy, you know. And I think for him, he was like, I think, like, let me let her, like, find Jesus a little longer, because it was all like, whoa, you're a whole new person right away, like. And so then we ended up not talking for, like, a couple months. And I just remember, here comes God, like, pruning me for the next thing, taking out all the feelings that I tucked in about men in general, like, being the past relationships I've had, an all. And then the relationship I had with him, I started to feel so regretful and so like, but I know that regretful feeling wasn't from God. And I was like, at this time still bartending, and it's the beginning of the Bible study group. Like, I'm still bartending. I was already finished with bottle service, and then Coachella's coming up, and I'm like, oh, but a festival, like, still like my flesh like wanting to come out. So here is a new season of like, I found God, but now I gotta be obeying God. So I believe in him now, but like, here I am being tested. How's my faith in him, you know? And I was like, that's where I started growing more. And I was like, okay, my faith maybe is not all there, because I said yes to Coachella, but I felt conviction when I was there. Like, I was just not, I was weird. I was socially awkward. I was like, I just felt like I didn't fit in with the group anymore, you know? Like, I felt just so off. Like, I didn't feel like myself. And I was like, man, this is my last festival. Just like I had said, this is my last this. I'm like, I kept saying, every time I said, this is my last this, it ended up being my last. And I just remember like feeling the feelings of that relationship. And this is where people ask me, what if you felt supernatural with God? And I'm like, this moment. This moment is when I was like feeling like I needed to quit the bar, feeling like I needed to let go of him. Even though me and him weren't together, like, I needed to just let go of that idea of the what if, the regret, the this, that he was just in that season. I don't know what the future again holds in store, but like, he was in that season. He was not meant to be in this one. And I was like having a hard time accepting that. So here I am at the altar, giving it to God. Like, I don't know how to quit this job. Here I am. I don't know how to let go of things. I'm so hard. It's so hard for me to do this. Like, and someone came behind me and prayed over me. And it felt, I've been prayed over, but it never felt like this. Like, it felt like when she put her hands on my back, it was like, whoosh, like a power. And I just completely like broke. Like, I was like, whoa, I've never felt that. Like, I felt, like I said, I've cried when people pray over me and stuff, but I've never felt a power that strong where I was just like, and she started speaking tongues and I just was crying. And then I opened my eyes and the pastor said, God wants you to let go of that job and that relationship. And I was like, what?
You know.
Yeah. And I'm like, I had to work that night. So I go to work and I have a friend that comes to visit me, and I was like, I hadn't seen this friend in almost a year. And I was like, not weird that she visited me, but weird that that night, specifically that night, she visited me. And she comes and asks me, oh, have you talked to him? Like, I don't want to say his name, but she's like, have you talked to him? And I was like, no. And then she ends up telling me something, which I'm not going to again say because I know that's like personal, but she tells me something that like, I was like, he did what? Like, what? He's not the person that I thought he was. What? Like, why would he do that? He was a man of God and this, what? And I'm just in shock, but I feel like God was like, this, if you need to hear this and this was going to take to let go, you need to hear this. And I was like, wow, okay. So then the man that she brought that night, he ended up fighting someone at the bar. It ended up being like a really bad fight where he threatened to kill him. It was scary. Like, I was like, I left that night feeling like I need to leave. Like, I just heard a loud voice like, get out, leave, leave, leave. I put my 2 weeks in the next morning and I was like, what am I going to do? Like, I have like my job. Like, I was scared to give training my all again because I was successful when I would give it my all and I was in a better headspace. But I was like, man, I need to give it. Like, I don't know what it means to give training my all anymore. And I was like, I'm going to lose this job. Like, what do I do? What do I do? And I was like, no, wait, I've been reading the word. The word says this. My thoughts are not my thoughts. Like, for you know the plans you have for me. Plus, like, that's where you got to take captive of your thoughts and put his thoughts above yours. And that's how I was able to fight the enemy. And I was like, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. And literally, like, the week after I left, the bar shut down. And I was like, oh, I wasn't going to get kicked out regardless. Like, God said, you, like, don't know how to let go. I'll like, take it from you. But, of course, I didn't have my clients come back right away. I had to put in the work. I had to put in the marketing. I had to, like, get myself back together. And I truly was like, okay, I need to let go of whatever this what if I had with him and just let it go. And I got to keep moving forward and just trust God. And I just remember like I unfollowed him. That was really hard for me to do, like to unfollow him and make him unfollow me, and just like completely like let him go, surrender that relationship, because God's not going to give you what you're idolizing or what you really want. And I really wanted love, and I really wanted to be with him, and I really like, so I was like, take those thoughts away from me. Like I want this more than you. Like I don't want it. Like I know this is not good. So I started to slowly like separate myself from going to his Bible study. I like just started focusing on just rooted and rising, and I started meeting a lot of girls that were, we had like a powerful night where everyone shared their testimony, and I just felt like, wow, like they really say, like you feel like you're the only one going through that, but truly there's other people going through that and worse, but like you're all going through it, you're not alone. And I just remember being like, I need to be an example as a leader. And I didn't even feel, I put like, God, why would you make me like a leader? Like I'm so unqualified. And but then he reminded me the story of Paul. Paul was killing a bunch of Christians, the worst Christian of all probably in the beginning, and he ended up saving so many people and being one of God's warriors. And God qualifies the unqualified. So I had to put that in my mind, and I was like, no, he's qualifying me because he knew. And I feel like since the beginning as a little girl, like actually I've gotten set free from whatever demon was attached to me since I was little, because that was a whole different experience of deliverance. But I truly feel like that spirit, demon whispering in my ear, constantly was like on me, voices in me, because he knew what I was doing now and what it's going to turn into. And that I had such a calling on my life, and that my life was so that I started to understand that this life is not mine, that I'm not here for myself. I'm here to build God's kingdom and to build, like, save lives and save souls. And I was like, man, like it just felt like so like I do have a purpose. I do have it's for God. Like literally, like I was just not gonna say it's been easy since then, like walking with God, but I've been obedient with him, and it just shows that how fruitful I'm being, how fruitful the group's becoming. And I'm honest with the group. Like I'm like, guys, this like I've been discipled now, and I'm discipling, so now I'm stepping into like leadership, and now I'm with a leader. And like now I'm definitely, I never miss church, like unless I was like really sick, then I would miss it. But I'm like rooted now, where I feel like now I can teach girls. Like I feel God's given me this whole journey to teach others. Like I truly had to go through all that stuff so that I could relate to them and say, hey, there is the other side. Like you can be saved. There is a God that loves you. And like now stepping into evangelizing, I went out to do this event for our church where it's praying for like prostitutes and like human people that are involved in human trafficking. And I just thought like in that moment I was like, man, this could have been me, like if I just kept going. But I'm like, thank you, God, like I'm gonna go let them know that you love them too, like and just praying for them. And I don't know all that God has planned for me. Obviously now I'm celibate, like I'm waiting till marriage. Like I recently got the like I said, I haven't drank to get drunk, but I recently got the conviction of like no more alcohol. Like I know like everyone has their opinion on that, but like God's will give you conviction for it at your own time. And it was my time, because he said, okay, you're stepping into leadership, people are looking up to you. You can have someone that's struggling with alcohol and then you still have one drink, they're gonna think that that's okay. And so I was like, ooh, I can't drink no more. Okay, but now I don't crave it. Like it's hard sometimes, because if you go out to those environments, we can't avoid the sinful world that we're in. So even you can go out to dinner, you'll see people having drinks, but I can be like with the power of God strong enough and say no. And like I always pray to have friendships that were going to be meaningful, but now I prayed for more godly friendships. And God's given me like all the friends that I used to have before don't even hang out with him, and we're still friends on Instagram, so we don't hate each other or nothing, but it's just like truly God's given me even more. He's restored like my relationship with my mom. He's restored like past friendships that like I didn't think would be restored. And he's brought me so many new like godly like sisters in Christ, and like I became a better trainer. And I started saying my business is not transactional, it's impactful. And since I've had that mindset, it's been more successful. And I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I'm rich, but like he's got me literally truly. Like I don't stress over finances anymore. Like every single time some moment comes, I pray on my knees, fast, and give it to God, and he's showing up every single time. So like he's never left me or forsaken me. And so now here I am telling girls like about Jesus. Now I'm using my Instagram to talk. I still show my fitness and love because I want to show me, that's who God made me. He made me a fitness trainer. He made me this. So I want to show those parts of me, but I also still show the power of Christ and God. And it's bringing girls from the world to come in, and like the group has just been growing and multiplying, and like I'm learning on this journey with them, like even though I'm like a step ahead of them, but it doesn't mean I'm better than them, but I am a step ahead of them where I can teach them from what I know so far. And everything I learn more and more, teach them more and more, and they can teach others more and more. Like we're just all helping each other get rooted and rise together. And that's where the name came from, Rooted and Rising. So I thank God for my salvation. I thank God for introducing me to you guys. Like all of you guys are so like powerful in your own way. And every time I hear your guys' testimony or just see how you guys just transform through fitness and through God and all this, like it's such an awe to see. And like I know right now I don't have my husband, but it's okay. Like I actually came to a point where like I'm okay with being a Paul. I'm okay if I don't get married. But I know he'll provide that for me. But I'm just not idolizing it anymore. I don't go out with guys for money anymore. Like literally I've been no dates for like such a long time, but it doesn't feel like, oh, I'm sad. Like I don't feel like that no more. I feel like like peaceful. And I'm like, when the time I'm just looking forward to like the future, because I'm like, man, the next guy or whoever it is, like he's gonna be truly a man of God and lead me closer to the Lord. That's the man I want to be with. And we won't just go to church. He'll pray. I'll pray. I just know like the man God
will have the fruits.
Yes, the fruits. Yeah. And yeah, I'm just excited to see like what he does. But yeah, that's my testimony.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you. And sometimes it's hard. Excuse me. Sometimes it's hard when we're going through our trials and tribulations to see like God has been protecting you every step of the way. And at the time we might be like, you see, nothing's gonna happen to me. Like if a friend gets a DUI, but then you don't, it's like, well, you see, I just know how to pull over or whatever. But it's amazing to see like when you get at the other side of, or at the other end of the tunnel, how looking back you're like, God was with me in that dark room, that anything could have happened, but it was God was like, no,
had a hand over me because he had a bigger calling. And I know some people, and I want to say this too, because some people feel like, especially like a couple of my close friends, they say like they're still kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, but they're like, I just don't understand like why God would, because some evil things had happened to them, but why would God allow that? And that God is not the cause of evil. Like he is not the one, but he will always turn a bad situation into good. And that at the end of the day, like this sounds really harsh, but this is something I had to tell myself, that we put ourselves in those situations, and like we had that free will. I had the free will to go to this room, I chose to go to the room. So whatever the outcome came, it was not my fault and I didn't deserve that. But at the end of the day, God did not cause that. He's not the cause of that evil. But he did use that situation of the escorting everything to turn it into something good, like something good came out of this. And that's what I always say to people that experience things, that once you do like seek God and a relationship with him, like, and you pray to him, he has a covering over you, and like you will always be protected, believe it or not. Like people think like, oh, still like bad things. No, like there's been, accidents I've been safe from. Like, just he has a covering over me, because I used to get actually in so many accidents too, like so many. And I'm like, what in the world is happening? But it was literally like I was not praying a covering over me. So of course all these things are gonna happen. I was attracting that. It was literally like just bad around me all around. And now you're gonna tell me now I don't have accidents now, because I have a covering over me. I have God protecting me. I'm never scared anymore. I don't get sleep paralysis how I used to. I was experiencing sleep paralysis from a little girl up until barely the end of this year, or the beginning of this year. That's a long time to like experience sleep paralysis. And I know people who do drugs and come out of that, they experience sleep paralysis. Can you imagine having that for like years on end, and then you find Christ and like you don't get it anymore? Like, I know the Holy Spirit and God is real. Like, if you don't want to have sleep paralysis, find Jesus. Like, I'm like, get a relationship with Jesus. But he is not the cause of evil. And as I studied like the end times too, I went over it with you guys. Like, we don't know how much time we have left, and I was like, I'm being pulled up for the rapture. Like, but I want to take souls with me, like, and I want my family to come. And so my family right now, they're not saved. If your family's not saved, know that it starts with you. Like, you got to be the one to change and them see the transformation in you. And then they'll be accepted to hear, like, the word of God and want to listen more. But don't just shove the word down someone's throat and be like, Jesus, this, you need to get pulled up to the rapture. Like, no. Actually, I told my family that. I'm like, you guys are coming to heaven with me. I don't care what you think. But someone that I don't know, I want to say that. But I want to be with Jesus. I cannot wait to meet him and us be at the table on the day of when we're all reunited and we're all eating it and having a feast together. That was gonna be awesome. I'm looking forward to that, because you go one or two ways. You either go to heaven or you go to hell. There's no you die and that's it.
Between.
No. And I'm like, my soul is not going to be with the devil, with the enemy in hell. Neither is my family, neither is this. And so they're going to see my salvation. Girls are going to see my salvation. And I'm here to, come this road. Yeah. It's not easy, but like, we're here with you. And that's the biggest thing, is community has saved me. Community was like, yes, your word is number one, but community, like, I truly would not be where I am today or as obedient or anything without community. Yeah. So that's why I'm so thankful, like, for the Bible study group, and like Soraya, looking at her, like, seeing how he does it for someone that I'm close to. Like, I'm like, God's real. God's real. I knew it was real when he did it for me, but like seeing how he does it, because we grew up together, So like,
I say, like, you're a big part of like why I'm saved, because I had my brother, but like I needed more to have that push. And I tell people, when they ask where that transition came out, I was like, it finally hit a point where my little brother was in danger. I would come to you and I'd just be crying to you and training. You're like, let's go to Bible study. And I'm like, does no one want to hear? Like, yeah. But no, just seeing you go through the hurt, but seeing like your transition and like the love that you show, like you literally just walk love, and knowing how we grew up and stuff, and like you play the biggest role in my salvation, and I'm very grateful.
I was not ready to cry, so I'm not gonna cry. I actually, like, it's crazy, I don't cry as much anymore, because I feel like God's just cleaning me. There will be a time again, I'm sure, but
for sure. Like when
I feel so strong and peaceful.
Yeah, but no, it's like when you talk about your testimony so much, you feel the same emotions, but you know how to talk.
Yeah.
And like before, it's going somewhere.
Actually, when I first shared with you guys, I was crying.
Dude, our first Bible study, I was crying at the table.
I know, yeah.
But it's my life has been so blessed, and you've been a big part, you and Isabel, and just seeing it all, seeing everything. And
it's crazy just how God, he knew what he was doing with all of us and introducing all of us at the right time. And now we're all like best friends. Like, we're all sisters in Christ. And so like the new girls that come, like, I hope that they see it through us, Not I hoped, I know they see it through us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, I feel that because I get DMs from girls from time to time, and I will like, and this has been going on 3 years before I even had like community or surrendered fully to God. I would like when I was going through a custody battle. For I know I shared it in my last episode when Ezra, my second youngest, what he came about because I was raped. And I never wanted to do like a custody battle only because I didn't want to touch that wound anymore. I didn't want to face him or anything like that. But I felt like I had to, and I remember posting it. Like, hey, can you guys just do a prayer for me? Because I don't know how I'm going to react if I see him there. Yeah. So I've shared some of my journey on Instagram. And I would get girls from time to time talking about or asking me, how do you stay rooted in God after like
all of that,
like negative things? And at the time sometimes I didn't have an answer. I'm like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I've come to realize that a lot of, and I'm gonna say girls just because I can relate to girls, a lot of these girls, I feel like when they're going through something personal, not everybody feels that freedom or that comfort to share, maybe even with their closer circle, because maybe they're not ready to surrender to God. So they kind of feel maybe the guilt, the shame, or whatever they're feeling. And then we have like let's say us, a community where they're like, I want to reach out, but I don't know them. So I don't know how safe I can feel. And I feel that they start watching you. They start watching your stories. They start watching how, because I can post quotes all day, but if my actions don't match that, it's empty. You know, so they kind of watch what you're going through, what you're saying, how you're handling certain situations. Like if you express, you know, this person did this to me, how are you responding to that? Are you being vindictive? And when they see that you are bearing fruit, then they reach out and they ask for help. And then that's when they like, okay, like you invite them, hey, you know, we have Bible study. And maybe initially they might be like, okay, next time I can't. But they start watching you. They keep watching you. And then they finally accept that call. And I'm feeling, I mean, personally, but I'm feeling led to say thank you to both, because I know I met Soraya at the Renaissance Bible study. But sometimes, like I've told Clarissa, I think for me it started with her women's conference at the beginning of the year. I'm like, you never know what one small yes from you can do to so many people. Like if when you had that dream about starting a Bible study, if you could have easily said no, or I'm not ready yet, let me take some more time, you know?
You know what's crazy is that it was like the first 2 months or month and a half, because it hasn't been that long that we had the study, but I like felt like you know, when you're first walking with God and you start thinking, I'm going crazy, this is hard, all this, you're finding out all this new stuff, you know, a new way to live, and then you grieve yourself and all that, like that process, you know. I was in that process of already like accepting the grieving of my old self, like she's not coming back, like this is who I am now. But then like battling the spiritual warfare, how like I was pouring out so much that I wasn't being, yes, I would go to church, but I didn't have a leader pouring into me or someone pouring into me, where I was like, again, like letting spiritual warfare win, where I was like, I'm ready to just give this group up. And then someone went behind, I went to a what do you call worship night, and I was like fighting to go. I was like, oh, I don't want to go, I just want to be here, be sad, because I don't want to do this anymore, like just in my feels. I go, so I just push myself. I go. At the end, someone prayed for me, and I again felt that feeling again, like the, and I feel like that feeling comes strongly when it's like God's trying to say, listen, like, and her words, she doesn't know me, didn't know that we had a group going on. She literally said, like, God says, thank you for surrendering, keep going, he's going to bring more women to the group, more women are going to come, don't give up, keep going. And I was like just crying, like, how did you know that? Even Val was like looking like, what?
Okay?
Yeah, like, how did she know that? Like tripping out. And I was like, and then she said, you need a leader. And so I was like, okay, that was my next step. All right, I'm leading. Now I need a leader, and I need to get more rooted in my church. And so, yeah, that's so true. Like, you want to give up, but then that one person or that one thing will be the one that's going to keep you going, and like God telling you, keep going, don't give up. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for your yes.
Oh, yes. I'm so happy we met. I'm like, we all transformed. Like, I don't even do the Jesus glow is real. Like, you look different. Isabel looks different.
Yeah.
I look different. I don't know how you look before. You gotta show me. I'm like, I just know you have a glow to you, though. Yeah, we all do. You know, 'cause
I agree.
we do bear that fruit. And like, I've been to like now I can see like what it means to bear fruit. And if a place doesn't bear fruit or someone doesn't bear fruit, it's not gonna grow and it's not gonna multiply. And if it does, it's gonna be taken away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And rooted and rising is growing.
Oh,
Yeah.
quickly too.
Yeah.
It is so beautiful.
I know.
It really is.
When God put that in my heart, we needed the partner thing because God knows
love
I
that.
can only do it. I cannot handle that
And
many
it's a
girls
lot.
at once.
It really, it's like it drains your battery.
Yes,
you
yeah.
know?
So he was like, it's time for a partner thing. They need to make new friends and have someone to come to.
That's actually coming from I tend to be shy a little bit.
And break
So-
you out of your shell. Yeah.
Yes. So it's not easy. I mean, and I'm sure maybe there's other girls
Yeah.
that don't have like that outgoing spirit come very easily.
Yeah.
So for me to kind of make friends, I'm more like a hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
And that's it, you know. But now that we have the partner thing, it's like a perfect opportunity
Yeah.
for like a one-on-one and build like that.
And you make a
Bond,
new friend.
yeah.
Yeah. And you just never know what they're going to teach you or what you're going to teach them.
Yeah.
And like, I can't wait to hear like in 4 weeks what you guys all experience. But like, yeah, God, like the idea was from the other Jess, but it was a little bit different. So I kind of changed it like a little, but like I prayed and asked God, how should we do this? And that's how he said to do it. So I was like,
That's
okay,
beautiful.
yeah, just listening to God. And if you can't listen to him, get rid of the distractions and fast. Fasting is like the best way I feel like to just reset your mind and fit, not even if you don't feel him, but like just get connected to him again. Because we're gonna
You literally
yeah
rid of your flesh. And
Yeah.
It gives you the opportunity to hear him louder.
Yeah.
I need to discuss some of that because
oh yeah
I've been feeling like fasting, but I don't know
oh
exactly how to do it.
so I could tell you real quick if anybody's curious. And I learned from my leader that when you in the Bible, she backed it up with biblical, and I read chapters on it. So when you fast, you just feel how long God's telling you to do it. You know, like some people could do 3 days, but you'll know in your spirit like how many days God is telling you to do it. But when you fast, there's different fasts obviously you can do. So you can do one where you have from 6 to 6, or when you have just water, or when you have like smoothies. But I truly feel like to really, really hear from God, abstain from food. Obviously drink your water, but abstaining from food. And when you're hungry, you get into your word. So like when you're hungry, tell yourself it's your spirit that's hungry, not your flesh. So your flesh wants food. Obviously, it's like, give me the food, give me this, you know. But like our spirit, let's make our spirits hungry. So let's feed our spirit, and that's what he's telling you to do in that fast, so that you can like feel him again. But also, they say when you fast, don't try to work your schedule around it. Like, oh, usually that's what I was doing at first. Usually Mondays I work out, I have a long day, so I don't think I'm gonna fast that day. I think I'm gonna fast on Sunday when I can rest. No, he said, do it when I tell you to do it, and keep doing your day as is, and don't have a pity face on you. Like literally, you should act as
Like
you're-
nobody should know that you're
yeah,
fasting.
yeah, and don't be telling everybody, oh, I'm fasting. Like he literally tells you, like, do not fast that way. That's you trying to get glory for yourself and not for him, and that you need to fast as if like you're going about your day normal. Yeah,
Okay.
because you're doing it for him, not
Yeah.
for yourself. You know.
True.
And then you'll just feel like if it's one day, you're going to feel in your spirit, oh man, I got to do another day. Or he's going to be like, another day. The longest I've done is 3 days. But like, I just felt like and then you're not going to get an answer right away sometimes. Like people think like, oh, let me fast and he'll talk to me. No, sometimes he'll show up a week later, 2 weeks later, where like He will answer whatever prayer or speak to you through somebody or scripture, whatever it is. But like, at least you fasted to like renew your mind pretty much, so that when he's ready to give it to you, you receive it. You know?
Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Hope that helped.
Yeah. Can you tell us how we're doing on time?
You are at an hour and 24 minutes.
Dang, I talked a lot.
Okay. Is there any last thoughts that you guys wanna?
That if you're looking for community, you can go to Women's Renaissance and Rooted and Rising. And if you're far away, we have Zoom. And that's one thing I'm trying to like. I'm not technical. You guys got to teach me.
We'll pray for
I'm
you.
not either, but I'll learn.
Yeah.
And we'll put it or I'll post the username, the what is it called, the handle name,
Yeah.
in the video so you guys can find them. But I encourage you guys to find community anywhere near you, because that's very important. But like Jess had said, dive into the word, number one.
Yeah.
But community does help a lot. And like she said, they do offer via Zoom.
Thursdays at 8.
Thursdays at 8. But we do have it in Rancho, right? Rancho. And so you guys are invited. If you guys have any questions, you can reach out and we will be more than happy to answer your questions. Or if you need prayer, assuming, right?
Yeah.
We're open to pray for anybody. If you know somebody needs prayer, leave it in the comments, or reach out to us and we will be more than happy to pray for you. So I hope this reaches whoever needed to reach, and thank you both for being here. I appreciate you both, and until next time.